So it's 4 o'clock. Let us start. A very good evening to all of you. Welcome in next lecture of Math F113 Probability and Statistics. In last lecture, we have taken the idea of binomial distribution and its subdistribution, point binomial distribution or Bernoulli distribution. So I have asked you to cover this question. So let us do this question. The college The College Board reports that 2% of 2 million high school students who take the set each year receive special accommodation because of documented disabilities. So, this is the reference. Consider a random sample of 25 students who have recently taken the test. What is the probability that exactly one received the special accommodation? So exactly. So first we have to understand which distribution it is following. So X is the number of students who are getting the accommodation, right? So in and we have the total population size is 25, and it is given to you 2% are getting that. So here the X follow the binomial distribution, means X follow binomial distribution with parameter n is equal to 25 and p is equal to 0.02. So we denote it by like this. In the part A, they have asked what is the probability that it is the one student. There is one student only. So probability x is equal to 1. So we know that the PDF of the binomial distribution as a NCX p to power x 1 minus p to power n minus x. So here x is equal to 1 and n is equal to 25, p is equal to 0.02, 1 minus p will become the 0.98. So required probability will come as a 0.308. Thereafter, in the B part, what is the probability that at least one received a special accommodation? At least one means probability x greater than equal to 1. So it is equal to, by the theory, you know, it is equal to 1 minus probability of x less than equal to 0. And so x, when we, in this formula, when we put x is equal to 0, it will become 1 minus p to power n or 25, you can say. So 1 minus 0.98 to power 25. So required probability is 0.397. And in the C part, what is the probability that at least two received a special accommodation? At least two. So probability x greater than equal to 2. So 1 minus probability of x less than equal to 1. That is the probability. That is 1 minus probability of x is equal to 0 plus probability of x is equal to 1. If you determine this, so you will get the required probability. So here we have the value. Then after, in the D part, what is the probability that the number among 25 who received a special accommodation is within the two standard deviation of number you would expect to be accommodated? So what is our expectation? Expectation is the mean value, means x bar. X bar for the binomial distribution, you know, it is the n into p. E of x for the binomial variate is, you know, that it is the n into p. So expected value is zero point 0.5. So on an average, we expect 0.5 students will get the that facility. From here, we compute the standard deviation. Standard deviation is root of the variance of positive root of the variance of x or binomial variate. And for the variance, we know that formula is what? NPQ. So root of the NPQ. So it will come 0.7. So they want it should be within the two standard deviation. So x bar plus 2 sigma. So it will come 0.5 plus 1.4, that is the 1.9. It means we want what is the probability that number of students getting that facility will be the less than 1.9 but greater than 0. So it is nothing, it will be equal to the probability x less than equal to 1. So its probability will come as a point 0.705. Right, means it is what, it is the probability of x is equal to 0 plus probability of x is equal to 1. Then after, suppose that a student who does not receive a special accommodation is allowed 3 hours for exam, whereas an accommodated student is allowed 4.5 hours, because the accommodated students has the disabilities, so he is getting some extra hours for the exam, 4.5 hours. What would you expect the average time allowed the 25 selected student to be? So you have to compute the expectation. So we know that it is nothing, it is the value into probability. So 4.5 hours and probability will be the, because you are taking the 2% only, so 2% of 25, 2% of 25, so it will come at 50. So 50 upon 100, so it is the 1.2. So 4.5 into 1 by 2 plus value 3 into 24 by 5, and I have asked told you value into probability, so divide by the 25, so it will give you 3.03 hours. So on an average each student get the 3.03 hours for the exam.
Sir, could you
Thereafter,
repeat the
Sir, can you
24.5 portion? That
actually
24.
question is suppose that a student who does not receive special accommodation is allowed, means exam is of 3 hours only, 3 hours for the exam, whereas an accommodated student means a disabilities student is allowed for the 4.5 hours. What would you expect the average time allowed to 25 selected student to be? It means we have to compute the expectation of exam time, expectation of exam time. So what is the formula of the expectation? Means here we have the 3 hours, 3 hours and 4.5 hours into probability corresponding to 3 hours, or a non-disabled student into probability of disabled student. Means you can say non-disabled student, and here you can say disabled student. So what is the proportion of the disabled student? So proportion of the disabled student will be the, it is the 3 into, so 0.5 upon 25, 0.5 upon 25 plus 4.5, and what is the proportion of the achha, disable is the this side, 1 minute, it here I am writing. So it is the 3 into, what is the proportion of the non-disabled student, 24.5 upon 25 plus, and what is the proportion of the non-disabled students? So it is only the 0.5 upon 25. So this we have computed. So this is here, it is written. Now clear?
Okay, sir.
Sir, how did we get the proportions?
Proportion it is given to you, na 2% population have the disability.
Okay, okay, okay,
This is given to you, na.
okay.
So in the last part,
Yes.
you have find the expected time and then you have divided by the total number of students, right?
No, no, not expected time itself is containing the probability, not total number of students. It is the it is the value into probability plus value into probability. Clear?
Yes, yes.
Probability itself is the proportion. Means 24.5 students out of 25. That is only the proportion only. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, Next important distribution is the hypergeometric distribution. This time there is no negative binomial distribution in the course. Only we are covering the hypergeometric distribution from this section. So hypergeometric distribution, right? There is no negative binomial distribution. So hypergeometric distribution is the are related to the binomial, means it is from the family of the binomial distribution. You can say it is the member of the family of the binomial distribution. So in the binomial distribution, what we have approximate? We approximate the probability model for the sampling without replacement from the finite dichotomous. Here we have the two result only: success and failure population, provided sample size n is small relative to the population size n. There we use the binomial distribution. So it gives the approximate probability. It gives the approximate probability where p is what? Probability of the success. Hypergeometric distribution will give you the exact probability model for such number of success in the sample. Means there what we have done, here we have the n. In that we are taking the small n sample without replacement, and here the means probability of the success. Probability of success is given to you as a p. Probability of success is given to you as a p. So when we say x, number of successes in a sample of size small n. So x follow the binomial distribution with parameter n comma p. But it is the approximate only, and this binomial we use when n is very small than the n. But if it is not so, then we have to determine the exact probability, and hypergeometric distribution help in that. So let us start with the hypergeometric distribution. So in the hypergeometric distribution means sampling, we can have the two types: sampling with replacement, sampling without replacement. But we are actually sampling with replacement is the independent event, right? Sampling without replacement is the dependent event, because the result of the previous events will affect the result of the future event. So sampling without replacement is little typical to handle. So how let us assume what is the hypergeometric experiment. So assumption leading the hypergeometric distribution are as follows: the population or the set to be sampled consists of the n individual objects or element. Means there must be the finite population having some objects of different means of the dichotomous characteristic. So there must be the finite population. Each individual can be characterized as success or failure, right? Means only the dichotomous. Let there are m successes in the population, and we know that total number of the successes. For example, in this, whatever the example I have drawn, in this n is equal to 12, let success is equal to plus. So total plus we have the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So here we have taken the m is equal to 7, number of the successes we know. Now a sample of n individual is selected. So here the small n is what? It is the 4. We are taking the sample of size 4. A sample of n individual is selected without replacement in such a way that each subset of the size n is equally likely to be chosen. So we are selecting the equally likely subset, right? Means when we are selecting the sample, there is no difference in selection. So now here we define the random variable x. What is the random variable x? The number of s in the sample. Number of s in the sample. For example, in this, the value of the x will be the value of x is the 2. If you take this sample of size 4, then the value of x will be the 1. When we take this sample of size 4, then the value of x is equal to 3. right? So when we take the sample of this, then we say again the x is equal to 3, right? So whenever we are taking the sample of size 4, we can have the different value of the x, that is the number of the successes. So here we can say x follow the hypergeometric distribution with parameter n, right? Then number of successes in the population. So here the small n, capital M, and capital N are the pertinent parameter for the hypergeometric variate. Means here what we are doing, here we have the population, finite population of size n, having the members, or having the members which have the characteristic, right, either the success or failure. So let us assume M has that characteristic and n minus M haven't that characteristic. Now if you take the sample of size n, so x denote number of individual or number of elements have that characteristic, and naturally the n minus x haven't that characteristic. That is the actual picture. Anything you want to understand in the hypergeometric distribution? So here the x is the random variable. So what will be the PDF? Now question arises, what is the PDF? So what is the PDF? So probability that x is equal to x, probability of x is equal to x, it is nothing because here we have the m population having the characteristic. Out of the m you are choosing only the x, so it will become the MCX. Out of the remaining n minus m elements, you are choosing n minus x. When out of the n you are taking the sample of size n. So that will be the required PDF for the hypergeometric variate. So here it is written. In this case we have the special limit for the x. X is an integer which satisfy this limit. Maximum of lower bound is maximum of 0, n minus capital N plus m, and upper bound is minimum of n, m. So this is the hypergeometric random variate, right? So any doubt in the PDF?
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, can you tell what is the small x, capital M?
That I have told you, no? Here capital N is what? Population size. Population size. Let M, it is the number of individual having the positive trait, means success trait. You can say number of successes. Then we are taking the sample size. Out of the in this sample, what is the number of successes? Number of successes. That is our random variable. We are interested for number of successes in a sample of size small n, which you are taking from the population of size n having total m successes. That is the thing. Now clear?
Okay, so small n is what?
Small n is the sample size.
And small x?
Small x is number of the successes in sample.
Okay.
Sir, here n is considered to be very large, capital N.
Capital N in hypergeometric not very large.
Sir, why?
You may consider also, but when n is very very large, then the small n, then we approximate with the binomial distribution.
No,
I will
then
show
we
the
can.
example. I will show the example. One example I have. I will show the example. Just wait a bit.
So what is
I
this
will show the.
condition in the end for x and integer satisfying?
That I am explaining. Going to explain. I'm going to explain. So here we have now question arise whether it is the PDF or not. So for the PDF, first we have to verify that it must be the non-negative, and some of the some of in PDFs or some of the PMFs should be the 1. So what we compute, let x is equal to, from for the convenient we are taking the x takes the value, or before that we assume that let fx is what? Fx is the mcx n minus m n minus x upon ncn. And for the convenient, instead of that limit we are taking the 0 1 2 up to n, means whatever the sample size. So here we take x is equal to 0 to n of the fx, or summation x is equal to 0 to n of mcx n minus m n minus x upon ncn. ncn is constant, so 1 upon ncn summation x is equal to 0 to n and mcx n minus m n minus x. And we know that it is the property of the combination. This is equal to, this summation is equal to, this is the property, so this is equal to ncn. So now it is equal to 1. So now you can say whatever this function, right, this is the PDF. Now you can say this is the PDF or PMF, because it satisfies the both property necessary and sufficient condition. Now you are asking how you are writing this special bounds for the this. So for that for that explanation, let us understand through this example, right? Then I will come to that slide again. Suppose that x follow the hypergeometric with n is equal to 20. Let us have the n is equal to 20. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. So this is the n is equal to 20. M has the characteristic, right? 17 has the characteristic. So let us understood these three are not of that characteristic. Now we are taking the sample of size n. Sample of size n. So, n is equal to 5. So if you take any sample of size n, let us assume we are taking the sample of size n. So maximum how many elements we can have? X can be in the sample. How many have the success?
Sir, all 5.
All 5, right? If you take the sample of this, so we can have the all 5. If I'm saying that this is the success, if this is the success and this is your failure, this is your failure. And minimum how many we can have? If I'm taking this sample,
2.
if I'm taking
0.
this sample,
Sir, 2.
how many? Okay, you try to understand again.
Sir,
Here,
minimum.
if I'm saying that
0 I guess.
m successes we have, so m successes means we can have the minimum 2 if you are taking this sample, right? Minimum 2 if you are including all the 3 failures. So here the limit will be the 2 3 4 5. Let us see another question. This question, suppose x is the hypergeometric with n is equal to 20. And we have only the 3 successes. We have only 3 successes. So when we take the sample of size 5, 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 so what will be the value of the successes? Number of successes. From this one, how many successes? 0.
0.
And from here, how many successes at most?
3.
3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So from here, now we have in the first one, we have the limit maximum of 0 n minus capital N plus M x minimum of n m. Now you apply for the first one, 0, 5, 20, 17. Here minimum of 5, 17. For the second one, it is the 0, 5 minus 20 plus 3. And here we have the minimum of 5, 3. So from here, the minimum will come the 3. From here, the maximum will come 0. From here, maximum will come 2. From here, minimum will come 5. That's why in the first we have the x is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5. And in the second, we have the x is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Clear? So that is written here. So in general, if the sample size n is smaller than the number of successes, means 5 less than 17 in the population m, then the largest possible value of x is n. However, if m is less than n, 3 less than n, second case, 3 less than 5, second case, then the x can be at most 5. Similarly, whenever the number of population failure n minus m exceed the population size, n minus m means exceed the population size 20 minus 3, that is the 17, greater than sample size 5, smallest possible x value is 0. And however, when if n minus m less than m means 20 minus 17, 3 less than 5, the smallest possible value of x is n minus m, that is the 2. So from there we have this special limit in case of the hypergeometric. So pictorially I try to clear this concept. Hopefully it is clear now. So for the different value of the nm, right, nm n, here because this is from the net, so in place of the small capital M, I am taking here we have the k. So for the different value of the nmn, we have the following figure of the PDF, and this is the CDF for the different value of the. So whatever the properties of the PDF and CDF, all you can observe from this graph. Now the mean and variance of the hypergeometric random variable x having the PMF x with parameter nmn are ex is equal to n into m upon n, and vx is equal to n minus n upon n minus 1 into n into m upon n into 1 minus m upon n. Right? So here, let us assume x follow the hypergeometric distribution with parameter nmn. So we know that fx is equal to mcx n minus mc n minus x divided by ncn. For the convenient, we have taken the x is equal to 0, 1, 2, n. Other than that special bound, we have fixed that we are taking this bound x is equal to 0, 1, 2, n. So what is the ex? Ex is equal to summation x from 0 to n x into fx. So just you put the value x is equal to 0 summation x is equal to 0 to n x into fx. Fx is what? Mcx n minus m c n minus x upon ncn. So mcx can be written as factorial m upon factorial x into factorial m minus x, and n minus m c n minus x divided by the ncn, like as it is. This from the in the numerator, factorial m can be written as m into factorial of m minus 1, and in denominator factorial x can be written as x into factorial of x minus 1, and factorial of m minus x can be written as factorial of m minus 1 minus factorial of x minus 1, and and this can be written as, from the both we are subtracting the minus 1, so this can also be written as n minus 1 minus m minus 1 c, choose n minus 1 minus x minus 1, and denominator can be written as, whole denominator can be written as factorial n upon factorial n minus n. So from here you can cancel x with the x. So your summation, you have to start from the x is equal to 1. You have to start your summation from x is equal to 1. So 1 to n. Now m into factorial m minus 1 upon factorial x minus 1, right, into factorial of m minus 1 minus x minus 1, and n minus 1 minus m minus 1, choose n minus 1 minus x minus 1, divide by n into factorial of n minus 1 upon n into factorial of small n minus 1, and this factorial can be written as n minus 1 minus n minus 1. So from here we can write this m, this n as a nm upon n, and remaining one will become m minus 1, choose x minus 1. This can be written as m minus 1, choose x minus 1. This is already in combination form, n minus 1 minus m minus 1 upon n minus 1 minus x minus 1, and denominator can be written as n minus 1, choose n minus 1. So when we put x minus 1 as a y, so this can be written as x y. This summation will start from y is equal to 0 to n minus 1, n into m upon n, and here it will become the n minus 1, choose y. Instead of the x minus 1, you just put the y. So n minus 1, choose m minus 1, choose y, n minus 1 minus m minus 1, choose n minus 1 minus y, divide by the n minus 1 minus 1. And if you take this outside, n m upon n outside, so this summation is nothing, it is the sum of the PDF, right? So that is equal to 1. So here it will become the nm upon n. So in your course we have only the mean of the hypergeometric distribution, means variance we will not ask in the exam. Just for your knowledge, here just I am demonstrating how we can compute the variance, but that is not in course. So just for your knowledge, you take the idea how to compute the variance. So as for the binomial distribution, we have computed the variance by this approach. The similar approach we are applying for the hypergeometric. So for that, first formula we can ask, right? Formula we can use, but derivation is not in course. So here we have the expectation of x into x minus 1. So by definition, it will become summation x is equal to 0 to n x into x minus 1 into fx. And what is the fx? mcx n minus m, choose n minus x, divided by the n, choose n. So that can be written as summation x is equal to 0 to n x into x minus 1. Now first combination can be written as factorial m upon factorial x, factorial m minus x. Second can be written as n minus 2 minus m minus 2, choose n minus 2 minus x minus 2. And denominator can be written as factorial n upon factorial n into factorial n minus n. So this can be written as x into x minus 1, and factorial m can be written as m into m minus 1 into factorial of m minus 2. Factorial x can be written as x into x minus 1, right? Here we are x into x minus 1 into factorial of x minus 2. And factorial of m minus x can be written as factorial of m minus 2 minus x minus 2. And second combination you can write as it is n minus 2 minus m minus 2, choose n minus 2 minus x minus 2. And denominator can be written as factorial n into n minus factorial n can be written as n into n minus 1 into factorial of n minus 2. And factorial of n small n can be written as n into n minus 1 factorial of n minus 2. And factorial of n minus n can be written as factorial of n minus 2 minus n minus 2. So what is the advantage? This can be written as summation. As you cancel this x, generally we do not demonstrate like this. By cancelling we do not demonstrate, right? So just you start in the next line, you start the summation from the x is equal to 2. So x is equal to 2 to n. So here we have the m minus 1, n minus 1, n minus 1. So this can be written as m into m minus 1 into n minus 1 divided by n into n minus 1. And remaining one will become m minus 2, choose x minus 2, n minus 2 minus m minus 2, choose n minus 2 minus x minus 2, and divide by the n minus 2, choose n minus 2. So when we put let x minus 2 is equal to y. So as you put the x minus 2 is equal to y, this summation will become these things you can take common outside this summation, m into m minus 1, n into n minus 1 upon n into n minus 1. Now the summation start from y is equal to 0 to n minus 2. And it will become m minus 2, choose y, n minus 2 minus m minus 2, choose n minus 2 minus y. This should be the y because we have introduced the y. So this should be the y, right? Y divide by the n minus 2, choose n minus 2. And this is nothing. This is the sum of the probability. So it is the 1. So here we have the ex into, this is what? This is the ex into x minus 1. So from here, we can compute the e of x square. E of x square is what? It is the e of x into x minus 1 plus e of x. Means what is this? This is the e of x square minus x plus e of x. Or you can say it is the e of x square minus x plus x. So it will cancel out. So this first value and second value already you know. And variance of x is what? E of x square minus square of the ex. So we can write it as a variance of x as a e of x into x minus 1 plus e of x minus square of ex. So all the three value you can put m into m minus 1, n into n minus 1 upon n into n minus 1 plus n into m upon n minus n square, m square, n square. So just you take the LCM. So when we take the LCM on solving, right, that solution, just we have the algebraic manipulation. So on solving, you will get this, and this can be written as variance of x as a n into m upon n into n minus n upon n minus 1 into 1 minus m upon n. So this is the derivation for the variance of x. So formula just we will ask, but we will not ask in the exam the derivation. So this we have derived by the definition. MGF for the hypergeometric distribution, we do not know the closed form formula. So we that's why we are not covering here. right? That because that summation we cannot determine. So here by definition only we have the mean and variance. Now, if the ratio m upon n, m is what? Number of successes in the population, n is the total population size. If the ratio m upon n is the proportion of s, means this will give you proportion of s, means p of s is what? It is the m upon n. This is the m upon n, proportion of s in the population. If we replace this m upon n by the small p, so when we replace by the small p, so this will become the n into p, this will become n into p into 1 minus p. So if you recall, here the ex will become the n into p, and here the vx will become n minus n upon n minus 1 into npq into npq. So for the binomial distribution, we know that vx ex is what? Np, and vx is what? npq. Here also we have the similar kind of things. So expression shows that mean of the binomial and hypergeometric random variable are equal, whereas the variance of the two random variable differ by the factor n minus n upon n minus n, often called the finite population correction factor. Actually, in the binomial distribution we have computed the approximate by assuming that n is very small than the n. But here we are computing the exact probability. So due to the exact probability, we have this correction. So this factor is less than 1, so that hypergeometric variable has the smaller variance than does the binomial. Because in the binomial we have taken the bigger population, and in the hypergeometric we are taking the smaller population. So here we have the less variability than the binomial. The correction factor can be written as this correction if you divide by the n. So this can be written as 1 minus n upon capital N divided by the 1 minus n. Means if you divide in the n minus n in the numerator and denominator, if you divide by the capital N, so it will become 1 minus n upon n and 1 minus 1 upon n. And if you take n is very small relative to n, then this will approach to the 1. Right? Means if n is very large, as compared to small n, then this correction factor tends to 1, and means hypergeometric distribution tends to the binomial distribution. So that's we have binomial approximation of the hypergeometric, right? So when the hypergeometric is approximated by the binomial, so when the sample size n is very small compared to the population size capital N, we can use the binomial distribution even when sampling is without replacement. Then also we can use the binomial distribution, right? And when it is possible, when the ratio of n upon n less than 0.05. In the first I have told you this thing that if the sample size is 5% of the population size, then we can use this. The parameters are at that time we can say presently what we have. Presently we have the x is equal to what? X is equal to x follow the hypergeometric distribution with parameter n, and m. Right? Now I am saying that it is equivalent to the binomial distribution with n and p, where p is what? M upon n, where p is the m upon n.
Sir, can you repeat the last part?
I'm saying that whenever the sample size is very small than as compared to the population size, so instead of the hypergeometric distribution, you can approximate the same thing through the binomial distribution. In the binomial distribution, we have the two parameter n comma p, where p is the proportion of the success or probability of the success, right? So if the x follow the hypergeometric distribution with parameter small n, capital M, so that can be approximate by the binomial distribution with parameter n and p is equal to m upon n. Only the condition is n upon n should be less than 0.05. Then only you can approximate this by the binomial distribution. Means whatever this from here we can compute the proportion of success. So when the population size is very large, so whether you are doing the sampling with replacement or without replacement, due to the bigger population size, it will not be affected. But when we have the smaller population size, then this probability will affected. So at that time we have to use the hypergeometric distribution.
Sir, when a population n is small, we with or without replacement, it doesn't matter. We can use binomial, right?
If population size is bigger, for the smaller, then you have to use the hypergeometric only. Then you cannot apply the binomial. For the exact probability, you have to use the hypergeometric only, not binomial.
Sir, I think he's talking about the small n.
Yes, sir. Sir, I was saying if the small n is
small n, then it's you have to use small n as compared to the capital N. If it is very small, then you can use the binomial, whether the experiment is with replacement or without replacement. Let us have this example. During the course of an hour, 1,000 bottles of beer are filled by particular machine. Each hour, a sample of 20 bottles is randomly selected, and number of ounces of beer per bottle is checked. Let X denote the number of bottles selected that are underfilled. Suppose during a particular hours, 100 underfilled bottles are produced. Means question is what? Here we have the production of total 1,000 bottles. We know that 100 bottles are underfilled, 900 bottles are actual filled, correctly filled. We are taking the sample of size. 20. Now you have to count. You have to determine how many bottles are underfilled in that.
Can you
sample.
show the question again, sir?
Right. So in this case, find the probability that at least 3 underfilled bottles will be among those sampled. So if you use the hypergeometric distribution, so in this case, what is the actual distribution? X follow the hypergeometric distribution with n is equal to 20, m is equal to 100, and n is equal to 1,000. So if you have to compute the probability x greater than or equal to 3, so it is the 1 minus probability x is equal to 0 minus probability x is equal to 1 minus probability x is equal to 2. So you have to write the formula, right? MCX n minus m upon c n minus x divided by the NCN. So this much calculation you have to do, right? This much calculation. So it is not easy. So exact probability is this one, 0.3224. But if you see n upon n means 20 upon 1,000. 20 upon 1,000. If this is less than or equal to 0.05, then we can approximate this by the binomial distribution. So we can approximate the binomial distribution. So here n is equal to 20, p is equal to m upon n. That is the 100 upon 1,000. That is the 0.1. So if you have to compute the probability of x greater than or equal to 3, so it is the 1 minus f of 2. So just you have the tabular value. So when we see the tabular value, So required probability will come the 0.3231. So here we have the exact probability 0.3224, and here we have the 0.3231. So you can see more or less both probabilities are same. So here you can observe that when the population is very large as compared to the sample size, then you can approximate by the binomial distribution and you will get more or less same answer. So binomial distribution give you the approximate probability, but hypergeometric will give you the exact probability. Just we complete this hypergeometric, we have the one more question. A certain type of the digital camera comes in either 3 megapixel version or 4 megapixel version. A camera store has received a shipment of 15 of these camera, which 6 have 3 megapixel resolution. So in this case, total camera population size is the 15, 6 of the 3 megapixel and 9 for the 4 megapixel. Now suppose that 5 of these camera are randomly selected to be stored behind the counter. So you are taking the sample of size 5 behind the counter and 10 are placed in the store. Let X denote number of 3 megapixel. So here we have the X to count in the sample of size 5 how many we have the 3 megapixel camera for the behind the counter. So what kind of the distribution? So in this case you can say X follow the hypergeometric distribution with n is equal to 5, m is equal to 6 and n is equal to 15. That is the hypergeometric. Then you have to compute the following probabilities and calculate the mean and standard deviation. So here the X follow the hypergeometric with capital N is equal to 15, small n is equal to 5, capital M is equal to 6. So probability for exactly 3 megapixel. So P of X is equal to 2. So MCX n minus MC n minus X divided by NCN, right? So 6C2 9C3 divided by the 15C5. So you will get the required probability. Here you cannot apply the binomial approximation. Then probability of X less than equal to 2 means at most 2. So it will be the probability X equal to 0 plus probability of X equal to 1 plus probability X equal to 2. So here you will get the required probability. So required probability will come the 0.573. Then probability of X greater than equal to 2. So that is the 1 minus probability of X less than equal to 1. So it is the 1 minus probability X equal to 0 plus probability X equal to 1. So this will be the required probability. And in the third part, you have to compute the mean and variance and standard deviation. So you have the direct formula n into m upon n. And here we have the n minus n upon capital N minus 1 into n into m upon n into 1 minus m upon n. So when we put its value will come the 0.857 and its positive square root will be the standard deviation. Last question. The second stage smog alert has called in certain area of Los Angeles County in which there are 50 industrial firms. So total we have the population size 50. An inspector will visit 10 randomly selected firms to check the violation of regulation. If 15 of the firms are actually violating, 15 of the firms actually violating at least one regulation, what is the PMF of the number of firms visited by the inspector that are in violation at least one regulation? So inspector is visiting the 10 firms. So it means, and now you have to compute this X. So here the X means number of firms having the at least one irregularities, right? So here we have the X follow the hypergeometric distribution with parameter n is equal to 10, m is equal to 15, n is equal to 50. If there are 500 firms in the area of which 150 are violation. Approximate the PMF of part A by the simpler PMF. So when we are saying that now it is the n is equal to 10, this is 150, this is the 500. Now they are saying that you have to approximate. So for the approximate, first we have to check the whether the n upon n. So 10 upon 500. So whether it is coming the less than 5% or not. So when it is coming the less than 5%, then we approximate. Then we approximate by the binomial variate. For the binomial variate, we require the two parameter n and p. So here we have the n is equal to 10 and p is equal to what? M upon n, that is the 150 upon 500. 150 upon 500. So using the hypergeometric model, Ex is what? N into m upon n, that is the 3, and variance of x is what? Right? Using the formula, you will get the 2.06. Right? N minus m upon n minus 1 into n upon m into 1 minus m upon n. So using that, you will get the 2.06 by the binomial. By the binomial, Ex is what? N into p. So n into p is the 3. Here also we have the 3. Right? So Ex for the hypergeometric and binomial in approximation give you the same expected value, but variance we have the little differ. So variance for the binomial approximation will be the NPQ. So it will come the 2.1. So
if in
here,
the question it's not mentioned that which model you need to use, and you just need to calculate the variance, so we can use any of them, right? I mean the result.
they have already written here na ki approximate the PMF.
Yeah, I'm just saying for the C part, for example, we calculated both the hypergeometric.
They have written you find the for the exact and for the approximate.
Okay, these words. Okay, got it.
So that's all in the from the hypergeometric. In next class, we will start the new distribution.
Sir, in my book, in the table A1, my decimal places are only up to 3. In the examples,
no problem. That is not a big issue. You take the up to 3. We will follow your means textbook only. Actually, okay. Whatever that table I have shown you, that table is I think from the internet only. We have not taken the picture from the book. You are asking the binomial table, no? I think.
Yes, sir. My table is up to 3 decimal places.
No, it's okay. No, there is no big issue. That you use that table. Whatever you have, you use that table.
Sir?
Yes?
Sir, these formulas for hypergeometric distribution and binomial distribution are applicable for both with replacement and without replacement.
Yes, because when we are doing the approximation, we are assuming that with replacement and without replacement, population characteristic is not changing. We are considering that point in our mind. Means if I'm saying that on an average there are 40% individuals are having the success. So always we have this thing, whether we are without replacement and we have the sample with replacement. Under that consideration, we are approximating this.
And sir, without approximation?
Then we have the different answer.
Sir, if
we have only studied with replacement, right? I mean, without replacement. We have only studied without replacement.
Hypergeometric is actual for the without replacement. Then only you are using the MCX. MCX into the n minus m, n minus x upon n minus n. NCN.
Okay.
Actually, you are doing the without replacement only. But when the population size is too big, but whatever you are taking the sample, that will not change the characteristic of the population, then we can apply approximation in sampling with replacement also.
Okay, sir.
When in previous class, I think I've given you the example of the sweet shop. So if you take the sample of one barfi or one laddu in the from the tray of laddus, then the characteristic of the laddu will not change, na, due to that sample. Any other doubt? Huh?
Sir, I had a doubt in the question which you gave in the PDF in the last class.
In the
Last class in the Saturday.
मतलब जो होमवर्क था वो वाला क्वेश्चन?
Yes sir. A toll
नहीं
bridge.
होमवर्क वाला तो आज कराया है ना फिर?
No sir, उसके पहले सर एक था the toll bridge वाला.
अच्छा, टोल ब्रिज वाला. हाँ बताओ.
Sir, in this case, sir, the hint is written, sir, we have to consider the X as the number of passenger cars.
हाँ.
Sir, but sir, I tried from a different method, sir, the other way around, sir. I considered X as the other cars and 25 minus X as the passenger's car, and with that data, I found out the HX and then the expectation, sir. But the answer was not matching.
So you have the distribution of the X, not 25 minus X.
No, sir. If we, sir, like, sir, in this, sir, they took one case where they considered as X as the passenger cars. So they formulated HX in that manner, sir. But I took X as the other cars.
No. I am saying that presently X follow binomial distribution with parameter n is equal to 25, p is equal to कितना था? 6.6 ना?
Yes, sir.
p is equal to 0.6. अब तुम कह रहे हो कि 25 minus x also follow the binomial distribution with the same parameter?
No, sir. I took X as the other cars, not the passenger cars. 25 minus X मैंने वो नहीं लिया passenger, मैंने X लिया other and 25 minus X लिया passenger. उस हिसाब से मैंने HX बनाया था.
तुमने कहा कि x है number of non passenger car.
Yes, sir.
At that time, what is the p?
Sir, 0.4.
0.4. So with the 0.4 you check ना then.
Sir, 0.4 से check किया था sir, 37.5 something आ रहा था. सर उस हिसाब से सर HX बनेगा 2.25 into X plus 1 into 25 minus X. Sir, plus 1.25. So 37.5 आएगा इससे सर.
चलो मैं चेक करता हूँ, आना तो नहीं चाहिए कुछ. देखता हूँ क्या है इसमें, आना तो नहीं चाहिए इसमें.
वही सर क्योंकि
सर
कुछ
Sir,
हम
I
मिस
have a
कर
doubt from the textbook question.
फर्स्ट लेट मी फिनिश दिस रिकॉर्डिंग देन यू आस्क।
Okay,
एक बार
sir.
मैं फिनिश कर दूं। और किसी का कुछ डाउट मतलब फ्रॉम टुडे लेक्चर?
सर ये वाला क्वेश्चन मैं आपसे मेल पे पूछूं फिर?
मैं नेक्स्ट क्लास में इसको बताता हूँ, नहीं तो मेरे को याद रहेगा, मैं देखता हूँ। आना तो नहीं चाहिए डिफरेंस,
वही
आना तो नहीं
सर,
चाहिए।
इसलिए मैंने दूसरे मेथड से कैलकुलेट किया जस्ट फॉर क्लैरिटी, बट उससे आया नहीं आंसर, इसलिए मैंने आपसे।
चलो मैं देखता हूँ, कुछ और इसमें हम मिस कर रहे हैं अभी, मैं देखता हूँ। आना तो नहीं चाहिए, डिफरेंस तो नहीं आना चाहिए,
वही सर, क्योंकि सर अब फिर अपन
क्योंकि
एक्चुअली भी चेंज कर रहे हैं
डाइकोटोमस पॉपुलेशन है ना, तो डाइकोटोमस पॉपुलेशन में डिफरेंस आना तो नहीं चाहिए।
एंड सर एक्चेंज भी अपन चेंज कर रहे हैं अकॉर्डिंगली, तो सर आंसर तो $40 ही आना चाहिए था, वही दिक्कत आ रही थी।
पहले तो यही कैलकुलेशन चेक कर लो, ये कैलकुलेशन सही है
ऊपर वाली?
हाँ,
एक सेकंड।
कैलकुलेटर है हाथ में?
हाँ जी सर है, तो 2.25 into 25 सर वो 56.25 दिखा रहा है कैलकुलेट पे। आपने जो जहाँ 62.5 लिखा हुआ है ना, वो
हाँ
56.25 कुछ दिखा रहा है।
नहीं, x माइनस 1, अच्छा कुछ और गड़बड़ हो रही है, इसी में गड़बड़ है, हमारी कैलकुलेशन में गड़बड़ है।
हाँ सर इसमें
20
20
25 इंटू 2.25
56.25
56.25,
यस सर।
और इसमें भी गड़बड़ है, इसमें हो गया माइनस,
सर माइनस 1.25 आ जाएगा इसमें।
हाँ 1.25 हो गई है, जरा अब चेक करना एक मिनट।
एक सेकंड सर, 1.25 इंटू 25 इंटू 0.6 माइनस 56.25, यस सर
आई थिंक अब तुम,
37.5।
हाँ अब तुम्हारा आ जा रहा है
हाँ अब
37 पॉइंट।
37.5 आ रहा है। मैं ऊपर
हाँ
कैलकुलेशन ही चेक करना भूल गया, मुझे लगा आपने करा होगा तो सही होगा। ओके, थैंक यू सर।
ठीक है, डाउट क्लियर हो गया ना, मतलब ठीक है
हाँ
कैलकुलेशन।
सर, हाँ सर, हाँ सर, थैंक यू सर।
सर मेरा एक टेक्स्ट बुक में से डाउट है।
हाँ जस्ट वेट अ बिट, आई एम स्टॉपिंग द